Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pastor Dane Johansson from Agros Reformed Baptist Church in Gilbert, Arizona. Just wanted to do a review of the Cambridge Wide Margin. I know that it is a favorite of a lot of people, and I just got a new one in recently, the King James one, the Concord Wide Margin. And so I figured it would be cool to do just a look at all three that I have. As you can see, I have the New King James there on top, the King James on the bottom or on the middle, and then English Standard Version on the bottom. So let's just look at each one of these. I figured that we would start with probably the least favorite, or maybe just even the lowest cost one. That's the cheapest, and then work our way up from there. So here we have the English Standard Version, the ESV, in Calf Split. It's Calf Split Wide Margin. I actually really like Calf Split, especially Cambridge's Calf Split. I find it very nice to the touch, very supple. I really like the grain. Obviously, it's not the real grain, it's an imprinted grain on the Bible. However, it is very nice to the touch, and it really softens up. You see how I really didn't use this much, or that much. I got this last year, and probably used it extensively for maybe a month or so, and I don't know, I didn't fall in love with it. But you see how the edges there just want to melt over, and that's really nice. It's got a really nice spine. It's got some tooling done there, 2 red ribbons, because this is the red letter, I believe. The Calf Split ones will be not edge lined, but they will have a paste down liner. So there's, see, Calf Split leather there, and so they have this vinyl paste down, and then in there they appear to have some sort of mesh to keep it together. And I've never heard of these really falling apart, but you can see this is, and I haven't been using this recently, and it's also cold out, and this thing's still pretty flexible. And then it goes right into it. Let's see the receipt date. I got that January 27th of 2017 or 2018. There's the ESV title page, and this paper on this one, the ESV, is really nice. It appears to be some kind of creamish color compared to the other ones, and I'll show you that in a moment. But basically, here you go. It's just the standard. You'll have your explanation of features, and it gets right into Genesis. And you can see that what's nice about this almost lays flatter, the Calf Split does, than the Goatskin ones, especially in Genesis. You can really just open that up and write right in there. And you can see some ghosting on the other side. I use microns, and the highlighter there is a Z-Bright, and I didn't have much bleed through or anything. You do see some, especially there, coming in from the other side, but it appears worse on camera really than it does in person, and the actual ink hasn't bled through. It's just you can see the writing on the other side. And this is just with a standard orange highlighter, it appears. So there's the standard orange highlighter, and there's on the other side. Can bleed through a little bit. This lays nice and flat, even here in Genesis, and it's a 2-column paragraph setting with references down the middle, as most people are probably aware. It does not have art gilded edges. It's just regular gilded edges. Still very nice. The paper, just very beautiful, very, very smooth binding. So we go in the poetry sections. You do see you have some poetry sections like that. Let's see if I can get to the Book of Psalms. There's Proverbs. And here's the Book of Psalms. So you can see that there is definitely some verse laid out there. But it's a beautiful font, beautiful Bible. Later, the ribbons are pretty nice. I don't mind them. I know a lot of people like to replace them, but I don't have a problem with them, honestly. And it's got lined notebook pages in the back. I think it was, I numbered them here at the bottom. It's 32 front and back. Concordance. So just your basic, just like the Pit Minion. That's what's nice about these. The Cambridge Wide Margin and the Cambridge Pit Minions is that the pagination on both of them goes hand in hand. So if you have, regardless of translation, if you have the Pit Minion version and you get the wide margin, it will be exactly the same. All right, let's go to the next one, which is the New King James in Goatskin. I've had this one for longer than the Calf Split ESV, but still not that long. Let's see, New King James there, wide margin edition. Tooling's a little bit nicer on this. Obviously, not that pronounced of a grain, but it's still there and it's nice and flexible, soft, because it is edge lined with a synthetic liner. Tabbed into the block right there, you can see 2015 I got this. And this paper is the quality, I don't know what GSM this is, but it feels much nicer to the touch in my opinion. Still lays nice and flat. I mean, this is the title page and it already lays flat. This is the Cambridge wide margin of the NKJV and Goatskin. You can see this paper, I believe, held up a little bit better to notes than in the Calf Split that we just saw, the ESV. You can see it has art guild edges, really nice. You can see the signatures there. Of course, all these are Smythe sewn, not going to fall apart on you, at least the binding. So even if the cover wears out on any of these, or you decide you don't like the cover, you could always have it rebound. Now you can see there's the art gilding on the page edges there on the right side. And if you can see, there's some kind of where it's wearing, looks almost grayish. And that's areas where I've read the Bible. This particular Bible, I went through Hebrews and the Catholic epistles, and so it's a little bit worn in there. You can still get into that gutter. I think even in Proverbs, I could still get in the gutter. So I write tiny too, though. So. But beautiful paper, beautiful page edges. I wouldn't not recommend this to anyone. In fact, I would recommend to anyone who wants a good note-taking Bible. It is on the pricey range, being Goatskin in the over $200 mark. Same thing, it's got the notebook in the back, 32 pages, maps, and then your inside liner. Again, very soft cover. And there you have it. That is the New King James. Comes with 2 ribbon markers. All of their wide margins come with 2 ribbon markers. Maybe not the hardcover, but I'm pretty sure even the hardcover does. It's got stampings really nice right there. And last but not least, this is the one that I just got in a couple weeks ago and I've been using. And it has just been a huge blessing. This is the Concord wide margin. So it matches the Concord exactly. Pagination, etc. But it is in Goatskin. Now, having seen this, I've seen some other people's Bibles that have the Cambridge wide margins and Goatskin, and having seen those and then seeing this, I'm not sure what it is about this. I don't know if it's that logo that the other ones don't have. I'm not sure if it's the leather they use. I don't know. This just feels so much better in its craftsmanship. This feels really just royal in its craftsmanship compared to the others. Even though the others are really nice, this one I can't really explain it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful Bible. I've held lots and lots of high-end Bibles. I think this is objectively the best Bible I have ever held. I mean, it's just built like a tank. You see the lining there. It's edge line, just like the other goatskin one was. Lays flat, of course. See the title page there. It's got the epistle dedicatory and the translators to the reader. So that's an essential. This paper, I don't know the GSM on this paper either, but it feels even better than the other two as well. I have to say objectively, this is literally the best Bible I have ever had as far as craftsmanship goes. And you can see there's room in the gutter. I've kind of had to spread it open a bit, but there is room to read or to write in there. And the font, even though it's small, which is a problem a lot of people have on the other translations, is the print is small, the font is small, and even though the wide margin is wide, the print is still small, and they do have an issue with that sometimes. However, with this, even though the print is small, because of the nature of the text, it being bold and thick, kind of an older typeface, that it is actually really easy to read. Got the salmon under gold Art Guild page edges, just like the others. It's just really nice. Again, like I said, I don't really know what it is about this thing. Ribbons are the same as the others. Yeah, I'm really not sure what it is that makes this feel so much nicer to me. It just really does. It's got a glossary of words, I think, before the concordance, just like the other Concord does. Yeah, it's got a glossary of some of the King's English, if you will. And same notebook. Again, the pages in this notebook feel even better than on the others. So I would really, really recommend this, especially if you use the King James as your main Bible. And even if you don't, I would recommend this as the King James that you get, just for the beauty it is. And there you go, you have the regular Concord, the Cambridge Concord, which has much thinner paper, obviously, than the wide margin. However, it's the same pagination and everything. And after the concordance, this one has a Bible dictionary that you do not get in the wide margin. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll put links to each of these Bibles here in the description. And I hope you enjoy getting your word. God bless you. Keep you.